Hey guys, this is Mike from BTech Reviews here, and today we're going to take a look at the Google Nexus 5X. Hey guys, this is Mike again from BTech Reviews here, and today I thought I would do something a little bit different. Now, I'm not used to reviewing phones that are so old, but I never was able to get my hands on the original Google Nexus 5X or the Huawei Nexus 6P at the time. So this phone was technically released back in 2015, fall of 2015 if I'm not correct on that, and it was a revolutionary phone in my opinion, but it was one of the last Nexus devices. Okay, so the reason why I wanted to get this is because I originally owned the Google Nexus 4 and the Nexus 5 and the Nexus 6, and I never got to go back to unfortunately another Google phone after I transitioned to iOS and Apple, of course, and a lot of Apple or Google fanboys are going to hate on me about that. But when I first started using smartphones, I essentially was using Google because the Nexus brand phones were so cheap. First of all, and the performance of these phones were just amazing for the price. So I mean, I remember buying the original Google Nexus 4 for like $300, $249, and the specs were pretty top notch. And I really wanted to just get my hands on this phone to try it out for you guys here, see if a phone like this can perform in 2019, 4 years after the fact that this phone actually came out. So again guys, this is we're gonna take a look at the Nexus 5X. This is just gonna be like a little first impression video, and then I will hopefully do a full review for you guys, test out the camera, gaming, etc. on this phone. So let's dive into just the first impressions here. Alright guys, so let's dive into our first impressions of the Nexus 5X. Okay, so obviously if you guys are a fan of Google and the Nexus or Pixel lineup, you'll notice right off the bat that this is actually the smaller version of the two. If you guys are aware of this, actually, Nexus actually released two phones towards the end of its life. So it released the 5X, which is this phone, and it released the 6P, which had a bit bigger of a screen and definitely a little bit more higher end specs and better build quality. But I decided to go with the 5X because the phone was a little bit smaller, and I just really wanted to see how this phone handled considering you know, its size, and because I'm just a little bit a fan of the smaller phones. So first off, out of the box here, even though I didn't get the actual stock box, right over here you can see that this phone, I got the black version, or the matte black version, right here. So of course, as you can see here, this is not engraved or anything like that. It's just a plain matte black finish with the Nexus logo here, and this specific version is made by LG. As you can see here, I did buy it used, so it does have a scratch on the side. It does have a 12.3 megapixel sensor here, and it does pop out, by the way. It's not too big of an eyesore though, so you guys can't, you know, if you were to lay this flat like on a desk or something, it's not going to be like, you know, wobbly or too much. But for the most part, not too bad. It's got dual LED flash also, by the way. Let's see if I can get this to focus. Here we go. Let me tap to focus there. There you go. And I'm not exactly sure what this is, but I'm pretty sure it's just like a little laser sight for facial recognition, etc. like that. So, and of course, in the back you do have your fingerprint sensor. Okay, so let's take a look at the front now. Oh, actually, let's go to the bottom here. Bottom, of course, again, this is a phone from 2015. You do have a USB Type-C port right out of the gate. I'm not sure if that's focusing. If not, don't worry about it, guys. You guys can hear my pretty voice here. But again, it is USB Type-C, and right on the bottom you actually do have an actual 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. For those of you who can't see, let me see if I can. There we go. Let's see if I can fix that. So again, USB Type-C and 3.5 millimeter headphone jack for those that, you know, do want to get a phone and don't want to spend a lot of money. You can actually get this phone for about less than $100 on eBay right now. You can probably get it refurbished on Amazon for a little over $100. This specific version, again, I bought it off eBay. I spent about $60. But anyway, let's go forward. Let's go to the front of the phone here. So front of the phone, luckily there's no heavy scratches or damages to the front, which is, you know, more important to me than the actual back, because I can actually just get a case. Fingerprint sensor, I already have everything set up. Fingerprint sensor works relatively fast actually. So I don't know if you guys got that or not. Let's turn this off really quick and let's see if I can kind of get it to where you guys can see me tap and do it at the same time. Ready? 1, 2. Let's see. It's pretty quick. And again, I mean, you know, this again is old technology, guys. If you think about it, this phone came out in 2015, and right off the bat, once I got this phone set up, I was extremely impressed on how this phone handled. And just for the heck of it, you know, I'm going to show you guys the version of Android that it's running really quick. You'd be surprised, but this phone is actually running Android 8.0 or 8-1. And let me just go ahead and show you guys really quick in the section here so that we can have proof of that. But I do know that this originally came with Marshmallow, and it's upgradable to Nougat, and of course you can download this specific phone already had Android 8.0 installed. So it says your system is up to date, Android 8.0. Let's take a look at that. 8.1, excuse me. And again, it was security patch level was December 5th, 2018. So that wasn't that long ago. I cannot tell you if this phone's going to be upgradable to basically 9.0, which is Pyrite. I don't believe it will be, but the fact that this phone is almost going to be 5 years old coming next year, and the fact that it has still one of the latest version of Android, to me it's pretty good. Just because, you know, you're still going to get a lot of features, you know, from app developers or people that develop games, and this phone will still be usable in the few years. So for someone that doesn't want to break the bank, I highly recommend looking into buying a used flagship device, especially a Nexus or a Pixel device, just because of how well they perform. Okay, so again, guys, this is just a first impressions video. Right out of the box, you can see that this phone is pretty snappy still. I haven't downloaded a lot of apps. Basically, I just downloaded like Speed Test, and I do have a wireless, or I do have a mobile data connection on this. I do have my Mint Mobile SIM card in here. So just so you guys know, and I hope you guys like the background. This is actually the dot background. Let me see. Yeah, it is the dot background, and this background actually debuted with the Nexus 4, I believe. There was a variant of it on the Nexus 4, and I've always liked it so much. And every time I have like an Android phone or something, I always like to get it. It's more of like a live wallpaper, but it just looks pretty cool. I just always thought it looked pretty good. But all around, guys, this phone's it's really pretty. It's snappy, I'll tell you that much. I mean, definitely the camera's not the fastest, obviously, but I mean, let me just take a picture of this. This is just a little stand that I use, and you can see here that the dynamic range on this phone is just good. Let's see, view full screen mode. Okay, got it. I haven't taken many photos with this, but I can already tell you right out of the gate that this is going to take really good photos, considering the fact that it only has one camera, guys. Again, it's got a 12.3 megapixel sensor, and one thing that I'm kind of upset about, that Google decided to rebrand the Nexus phones, and let me lay this down really quick for you guys. By the way, this phone is extremely light, guys. Extremely light. I cannot tell you this. I had the original Nexus 5 also, and this phone is just one of the lightest, phones that I've ever held. Considering it's a Nexus device, I thought it would feel a little heavier in the hand, but nope. It's really not that bad. I mean, really, you wouldn't need a case to feel any type of weight on this. So definitely impressed on how light this phone is, guys. And I'm just really shocked at how well this phone performs, considering how old it is, guys. I mean, it's really interesting to think that this phone has aged so well, and that I really am disappointed that Google really has focused more on their phones for their camera use rather than their performance. Because back then, I mean, when I originally purchased the Nexus phones, they were built for fluidity. They were built for performance. Cameras and other little hardware things came kind of second, especially when it came to build quality back in the day. But even then, so So it's still pretty good though. I mean, screen size is a good size also. I mean, this is about a 5.7 inch touchscreen. Obviously, you know, you see the thick bezels from here to here. You know, if I were to do that, you guys can see that. You know, obviously Google or LG could have had this designed a little better at the time, because it does have dual front-facing speakers. But again, if you guys look here, you can see how much real estate this could have been. This is like basically like a whole freaking like half a centimeter right here that that LG could have used. But nowadays, obviously 2019, you're gonna see most of these newer phones take up the entire front panel here. Check out, I love this ambient display that happens when you pop the phone up, or you lay it down and then you pop it up, and it'll just give you the time, and it'll give you any. It is 1:30 in the morning, by the way, guys. I am shooting this phone at 1:30 in the morning, so if you're still watching this, I am shooting this phone at 1 in the morning. I did get this phone late in the evening last night, and I went to a friend's party, and I just got home a little while ago, so I just barely got to, you know, get my hands on this and fully just, you know, appreciate this specific phone. But guys, again, this is just a first impressions video, and I hope that you guys like this video. I do plan to put out a review, you know, a secondary review video, just, you know, how I got to use the phone, cameras, the battery life, etc., like that, just because, you know, since this is a used phone, I'm pretty positive that the battery life on this is not going to be very good, especially since this battery is only a 2700 milliamp battery. So just keep that in mind, guys, that this phone, again, it's aged pretty okay, all right, but at the same time, you know, it probably does still have the stock battery in there, and I don't know if I can get this refurbed myself or something, have them replace the battery. Again, it is a Nexus device, so if I were to send this into Google now, they'd probably just send me a replacement Pixel with it, you know what I mean? Anyways, guys, this is Mike from BTech signing off. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, guys, subscribe to me if you already haven't, and of course, if you guys want to see something in the review video, please give a comment down below so that I can definitely take any comments into consideration when testing out this device, guys. So again, this is Mike from BTech signing off. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.